Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I am your host, Dylan Cooper, with the constant co-host over here.
Gavin Franklin.
And we are remote, so you really get to look at both of our faces this time instead of the side of our faces. You get to look directly into the webcams, and it's quite the experience.
Straight into the eyes, into the soul. Yeah, there was a lot going on this week for me. I was in the middle of a move, and I am preparing for the tournament and a lot of stuff at work. So this is kind of where I am in Lexington right now. So going forward, though, we absolutely plan to be in person as much as possible.
Yeah, and going on that, too, is a reason we want to be in person as much as possible is for the other stuff we have planned for the YouTube. We mentioned last week about how we're going to start adding a lot more tabletop things to it, and it's hard to do that remotely.
Yeah, that was pretty difficult to do. So we will be in person. We're getting a setup going on. Dylan's finishing up a lot of his army. That way we can have a solid tabletop gaming experience. Working on terrain at the moment and lighting for the area. But I think it's going to be kicking off here in a couple weeks when we start filming our first tabletop interactions.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. You guys can talk so much shit about how we don't know what we're doing, especially me.
Yeah.
But guys, like always, we are here for the podcast. We're here for the books, but we're also here for the fucking beer. Gavin, what do you got?
So I think we've already had this one on the podcast, unfortunately. It's a Metazoa beer.
Yeah, it's the one with the sloth, right?
It is. I was gonna get Hopopotamus, but it is the nap in the hammock. I did.
Failed.
Is this the first repeat?
The Lodge. It is.
No, really?
Repeat. Yep.
I don't think that's true. I think we've repeated it before.
Nah.
Oh, that's really depressing. I am drinking honey. I will be drinking this bottle of honey.
The fact that you just have a random jar of honey on your desk is why I'm a little bit concerned about what's going on over there. Makes a lot of
sense for me, honestly. Okay, well, I'll have to bring on something extra special next time then to make sure that I make up for the repeat of beer. It's depressing.
That's fair. I am drinking from Crook and Marker a iced tea beer. For those who've never heard of Crook and Marker, they're interesting. So all their shit's organic, and part of it is they don't use real sugar. They actually use stevia, which is supposed to be like a good fake sugar. And I mean, it's pretty solid. It's 100 calories. It tastes like tea. It smells extremely boozy though. Like it almost like burned when I first smelled it. I was like, oh my god, what the hell? It's only 5%. I don't know why it's burning. But it's solid. I'll take it. Zero sugar, infinite flavor.
Well, that was a little gay.
Hey, I don't make the cans.
Listen, I can deal with you drinking Trulies. That's totally fine with me. But the second you're like, well, they're using stevia. It's supposed to be the healthy brand of sugar for you, and it has 0 calories, so it's very good for your health. As I'm trying to watch my figure, that is when.
Look, I'm married, and this is what happens.
Stevia beer, delicious.
Yes, best thing ever. I will recommend 10 out of 10.
All right. Well, moving on from that double shit show that we just had there, this week we are previewing Age of Darkness. At least the first half.
Maybe the first half.
Yeah, we'll see what we get through. It'll be around half. That's the plan. So if you guys aren't aware, Age of Darkness is another collective series from a large group of authors. Each story falls somewhere between 35 to 75-ish pages. And there's 9 in this book. And the events of this one kind of take place in different time periods. But a majority of it is, I would say, post-Cal, in that sort of area, or right where we're at right now. Definitely all of it is after Prospero. So we're in that realm.
Yeah. Also, like right after Isfahan, which is probably the big one.
you get a lot of Isfon 5, a little bit of Prospero, and Calf seems to be the three things that are a big deal. So
pretty much.
Then are we good to dive right into? Let's go ahead and talk about how they can reach out to us.
Ah, yes, the important stuff. All right, guys. So if you have any questions for us, you want to just shoot the shit with us, there are several ways to do so. Also, if you have things that you would like us to talk about on the podcast, let us know. We will bring that up. If not for the podcast, things that you want us to do for the tabletop as well, for the YouTube. Ways to do that. Obviously, the YouTube, which is the Heresy Lodge. Be sure to like and subscribe to us and our videos. That would be awesome. You can also find us on Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Our Discord is pinned to our Twitter if you really just want to shoot the shit with us. And you can also email us, theheresylodge@gmail.com. And from the looks of things, I lost Gavin.
No, I'm right here.
That was weird. You're frozen on my screen.
Oh, so sorry about that, man. I just move very slowly and sometimes not at all. So maybe that's what it is.
You actually just turned into a sloth.
Just sat there like this for a minute. Yeah. So, also, big shout out. Thank you for the comment on YouTube for my shirt. I appreciate that.
And also, it's not his shirt.
It is not. You know, a funny thing about that, I didn't put this together, but that shirt was not my shirt, and this shirt is not my shirt either.
I hope
this is also Connor's shirt. So it was the same friend's shirt. I didn't sleep over at his house or anything, if that's what people are thinking.
They sleep together, actually.
So, yeah, definitely. Also, we're doing a special podcast again, much like we talked about the Emperor's Plan. We're going to be doing something similar to that after this book is over. So not after this podcast, because this is going to be broken into two. But after the next one, we're going to be doing I think we're going to be focusing more on the Primarchs and the Legions this time, and not specifically the Emperor, but maybe the Emperor will come up. So if you have things you want us to talk about, that would be the place.
Although, I don't know if you want to do much of the Primarchs now, because in like 2 or 3 books away from this one is the Primarch Anthology.
Right.
Which is all Primarchs. So do we want to do Primarchs again?
Maybe we talk Ultramarines keep falling back, and we know that the Imperium Secundus is out because Remus is like the main character throughout all these engagements, is continuing to like internally question whether or not the information that he's getting from this book is good. He's like, this isn't what I would do. This is weird. But then he does it anyway, and it always works.
Yeah, and it's like, because there's a constant battle between the main character and like his sergeant, I guess, lieutenant. I don't remember what the hell they're called. But he's like, I don't think we should do this. And it's like, we must believe in the Primarch's word.
Yeah, it's they have like a few different sergeants. The big one is Sergeant Barca.
Yeah.
He kind of appears in a few of the different engagements. It's very strange because you're like, oh, when you first read this, it's talking about the Death Guard invading Ultramar, and you're like, oh fuck, the Death Guard are invading Ultramar. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, shit, I didn't think they were gonna be there.
This is gonna be rough. And then the next thing you read is about the World Eaters. Oh my, holy fuck, the World Eaters that are Ultramar too? Like, holy shit, like Ultramar is fucked, man. What's going on at Ultramar?
Sure, I'm not 100% sure. I think the World Eaters do end up at Calth. I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure the World Eaters are part of one of the upcoming books.
Well, this is like what I'm thinking, right? It's like we know for a fact that the Word Bearers go to Ultramar.
Oh yeah, we definitely know they're on their way.
Well, they were already there in fucking
that's fair.
In Battle for the Abyss. And then they were trying to destroy McCree. They were like, let's fucking McCrag or whatever you want to call it, Makarage.
Goddamn right, Makarage.
But then you have like the Death Guard came and the World Eaters came, and I'm like, dude, how much can the Ultramarines are carrying the heresy on their shoulders?
Big, shit.
Like, what the fuck are the White Scars doing right now? Ultramarines are doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, and then we fucking run into salamanders, and I'm like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. Are these traitor salamanders? What's happening?
There's already only like 10 salamanders, and now some of them are traitors? This was the first story, because already I was like, holy shit, Ultramar's fucked. And then the salamanders came into play, and I was like, oh, maybe there's something weird going on here.
And it's weird. It's really fucked up, honestly.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say it's fucked up. It's just like
they're killing each other.
Not literally.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure they're literally killing each other. Because I remember I saw something where like at one point like Rabute like gets in trouble by the Emperor for killing his own people.
Whoa. I don't know. I'm pretty sure in the end it was talking about how like everyone got up and exchanged armor and repainted the armor to the new legion that they were supposed to be fighting. Especially during the battle,
I was pretty sure they were like literally killing each other.
During the battle with the salamanders, like at one point, like bombs were dropping, and this like bomb literally hit a guy. It was like a cardboard bomb. He was like, ah. No.
It's just a giant LARP fest.
Yeah, that's what's going. That's what I'm pretty sure is happening. They're firing like blank rounds or like paintball guns at each other. And who knows? Like maybe the training in the 30K universe is like really fucking cool, but
just LARPing.
You'd think at this point it would all be VR, but nah, they're doing like they're putting together like entire worlds for LARPing.
You know what? I can get behind it. I can go for some LARPing.
I used to do LARPing, not like
I believe it.
Not as an adult. I'm not nerdy. I did it.
This was like last month in front of the Walmart.
I did it as a kid in like middle school with my cousin, because he used to make like crazy badass LARP weapons. That was his like hobby. I was like, oh fuck, that's awesome. So like I kind of got into it. I never like did a crazy LARP fest with him or anything because he actually did those, but I would like fight him with these badass like swords made out of foam, tape, and PVC pipes.
That's okay. We glue some pieces of plastic together and pretend that they're fighting.
Guys, LARPing's fucking nerdy, okay? I'm not a
Losers.
gay. I'm not a gay, okay? I play with miniatures like a real man.
A big, strong man, may I add.
Big, strong salamander man. Oh, what do I play? I play the Tau. They're like the Japanese weeb dudes.
And I don't know, man. My Great Aunts are pretty badass. I can't say much.
Your grandparents are badass compared
They're
to
just
mine.
really big, strong men with psychic powers.
You love the big, strong men.
With psychic powers, especially.
You know, I don't know which one is more gay, honestly. Like playing the Tau, or like being really into big, strong men with psychic powers. Because at least the Tau.
Maybe I should have went with the sisterhood.
There you go. That makes more sense. Like,
That's my next army, sisterhood.
Break my head with those thighs. Oh my gosh.
She can bust more than a watermelon with those things.
Oh yeah, she can. So we had the engagement with the salamanders. I was really confused, and I felt really bad for the salamanders. I was like, it's not like the salamanders are gonna win this. This is the main character in the book, so we know who comes out on top.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought the salamanders just getting their asses kicked. And then we get the last engagement, which is an engagement with the Luna Wolves.
Sons of Horus, please.
Yeah, you're right.
We respect the Luna Wolves. We don't respect the Sons of Horus.
Very different group there. But it's interesting because when I first started reading this, in my mind, and this might be weird, like I thought of the World Eaters and the Salamanders as a bigger threat than the Sons of Horus. Like battle-wise, I don't know if it's because we haven't seen a lot of the, like they don't really have a niche. The Sons of Horus, they're just kind of like
they're just good at everything. They're just supposed to be like elite.
They're supposed to be really good at attacking.
Yeah, and then we had the fucking World Eaters that are just like everything in front of me fucking dies. I'm like, oh,
yeah. Like, I would honestly think that the Sons of Horus, as far as a legion goes, everybody reveres them as being like the scariest legion, and I just like personally as a reader don't think that.
No, not really at all.
I think the Dark Angels, the Space Wolves, the Thousand Sons, World Eaters, even like honestly, there's so many more legions that I just think are like cooler and more interesting, and like do things like the Night Lords and the Alpha Legion and the Imperium Fists.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, and like as far as as far as like the fear that I would have if a legion visited the Sons of Horus. Well, the Sons of Horus maybe because they're fucking sadistic fucks now.
Yeah.
But like Luna Wolves, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, it's the Luna Wolves. I'd be like, thank God.
If the Luna Wolves like invaded Earth, I would expect it to be like peaceful almost, like just like a negotiation. Yes. Yeah. Sons of Horus, I'm expecting to just fucking get murdered for shits and gigs.
Or they blow up your entire planet with nuclear bombs in the core.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about later. Yeah, but this is, it was kind of weird. I thought it was like, you're supposed to feel like this big bad from the Sons of Horus. I just kind of get like, that's another legion in my mind, you know?
Yeah.
This one's kind of weird because the engagement like goes south really quickly.
Yeah, and like everything, like the strategy just like was failing like over and over again, and he was like, well, I guess we just have to do our last stand.
Yeah, and then Horus shows up and everyone gets fucked. Which is why I don't think like they're killing each other, obviously, because like he died, but he didn't actually die.
Well, I think he wasn't die. Like I think he was like about to just get murdered, but then it was, you know, what's his face, Gilliman, just like, it's okay, son, you fucking failed, but it's fine. Thousands of us have failed.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that like I don't know if he was actually.
I honestly would like the Ultramarines more if they were killing each other.
I would not. That's kind of weird.
I would, because it gives them something that's fucking like.
That's some like World Eater shit.
Yeah, but I'd rather something than them being these perfect little goody boys.
I like the idea that the Ultramarines are perfect goody boys because it lets me not like them. If that makes sense. Like, that is their flaw. Them. That's their flaw to me. Is like they're too good. So it's like they're kind of like, man, like they don't have any sort of like weakness. They're just there.
I wouldn't consider, killing yourselves to be better a weakness. I just consider it a little fucked up. And I'm like, that's a level that I can respect.
Well, the weakness I find the Ultramarines is they're not able to go to the notch above like pretty much every other Legion would. Like if I was to put the Legions in like one person from each Legion in a combat situation, I actually think that the Ultramarines would probably be the first to go, except for the Word Bearers.
I could see it.
Yeah, because like they're not like they don't really they're tactical, but like the fucking World Eaters, even the Death Guard being relentless as they are, like then you have people like the Iron Hands and the Imperial Fist, like those legions like as soldiers I think are just better. Where the Ultramarines, I feel like, are just like generic soldiers.
I could see like almost even to like the Emperor's Children pre-Slaanesh craziness. Yeah. Other than Lucius, because Lucius is actually a bad motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. They're very similar.
Yeah, they're all about doing everything perfectly or whatever.
Yeah, to a T. Yep. Yeah, so they lose, and then you get this like weird conversation. This conversation was so weird. Where like the leader was talking to Gilliman. He was like, "Well, I know why we lost, sir." It's like, "Why do you think that is?" "Because we didn't have you."
And Gilliman's like, "I think you're right."
"I think you're right." I'm like, what the fuck is Bobby G gonna do against Horus? That's not it. Like that's especially Horus souped up on chaos, ridiculous steroids.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
What the fuck is Gilliman gonna do? Gilliman couldn't even fight Mortarion in one of the more recent books. He got his ass beat.
Oh,
He's gonna take on Horus.
That's just a shame.
It's sad. It's sad.
Down the list.
Gilliman is not the person that I would want to be going up against Horus. It's just because you weren't there, sir. Well, geez, you're right. Come and suck my dick, son. Okay.
And that's the Ultramarines.
That is pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's the end of that story. Then we get this next story, which is also featured in Ultramar, Liars Do by James Swallow. So those who don't know, James Swallow did Flight of the Eisenstein. He did the short story about the Sisters of Silence, and he also did
this one. I don't think he has another book until like 3 or 4 away from now.
Okay.
I know he does like a really big one that people really like.
No, he did Nemesis.
Oh shit.
So I thought, yeah, Nemesis.
Yeah, Nemesis. Started off
good, kind of teetered off, but hey.
Yeah.
Liars Do. So this one was really cool. I thought it takes place in Ultramar again on a Agri world, which is a very unpopulated planet designed exclusively for agriculture in a town where they have what's called the lift. It's like the something lift, right? Space lift.
It literally is just like a giant lift that they take the fucking food up and ship it off
into space.
Yeah.
So imagine. It's like ridiculous.
Makes no sense.
No, it's kind of absurd. But I don't know, maybe here in like a few hundred years, that's how we do it. But
food to Mars somehow.
Yeah, the giant elevator.
It makes sense to me. Look, we can't put it on a fucking escalator.
Eventually, down is up. Well, how are we gonna manage that? So. Basically the concept of this is in the beginning. This was another one. It's very similar to the first book, in my opinion, where like where like you hear one thing in the book, but you're like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like when they were fighting the salamanders, it's like, this is weird. So this planet gets a broadcast stating that the Emperor is dead, and I'm like, oh, is this like one of those like books that's taking place like way in the future.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too. I thought this was post heresy.
Hmm. And it starts talking about how just weeks ago they were talking about Ultramarine victory on Calth and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, something's weird. Something's going on.
Yeah, this one was probably my third favorite
Mm.
of the 9, and James Swallow I think kind of knocked out of the park because I thought it was super interesting just because I fucking love the Alpha Legion.
Yeah, it really showed their role in the heresy and what they're doing, because they really do take the back seat because that's their character. That's what they do. But it shows like how well of a backseat driver they are.
Yeah.
Like they're a fucking machine that is probably doing more for Horus than almost any other Legion out there.
Yeah, I mean they're fucking turning planets without causing any war. Mm-hmm. And that on its own is impressive.
Basically, the concept of the story, it's actually pretty easy to explain. The Alpha Legion senses an operative who takes control of the broadcasting in this town. And from there, he feeds lies about Horus approaching.
Yeah, it's really cool too, like because like how like this little town works is like they have like one person who like listens to like the broadcasts. He brings it out to the people. He gives them the recording. Well, this agent has this machine that like copied the voice, and he's able to manipulate it however he wants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was really easy for him apparently, because like it doesn't send the broadcast to individual houses, it just sends it to that one guy.
Yeah.
So he's able to just send it to that one guy, and he thought that was the broadcast from the Astropath, which he actually like knocked out. Yeah. So from there, like he was sowing messages of the fact that like Horus had killed the Emperor and he was on his way, and everyone was panicking and trying to decide whether or not they should go for Horus or for the Emperor, fight and all that stuff, and just kind of got really out of hand and basically threw this entire town into chaos. And then he went and left, and they had like killed the planet, took itself over essentially with one person on Horus' side. It obviously was revealed to be Alpha Legion. Revealed about halfway through that he was Alpha Legion. But it was really cool. Like the concept was cool. The story was like okay. It wasn't like an amazing like roller coaster of a story, because you know he's Alpha Legion like halfway through. And there were a few parts that I didn't quite understand. He was infiltrating this town, but that doesn't necessarily mean the entire planet was conquered. And I think the way they explained that was the only importance of this planet was that lift.
Yeah, and the town that had it was corrupted.
Exactly. So, again, I'm not really sure like how all this works. So, like, does Horus now send emissaries to the lift to pick up the food, or do they still have to fight the people coming to pick up the food? It's not like the people that come and pick it up aren't doing it anymore.
I think it's automated. Like the whole thing, which is like automated.
Well, the ships themselves aren't automated. That will come and pick it up because they have to send it to the rest of the Imperium.
That's true. I don't know. I'm sure there's fucking something.
Yeah. So, like, I think in my mind, the reason why this story was cool but not like incredible is I thought there was a lot of holes in the story. That was like, I get that they're trying to show that the Alpha Legion is just fucking up planets without even doing anything, because that's what the Alpha Legion does. But this didn't seem like a realistic, and that's been my whole problem with the Alpha Legion, is like the way they do their shit like is awesome, and I love reading about it. But it doesn't seem realistic. Like it doesn't seem like they could literally conquer like 50 planets in a few years by just sending a dude to anchor some people in a town. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will say, and there was a really cool conversation with the operative and the main character. He is just like this young kid whose dad owns like, I don't even know, like it's not like a hotel. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a hotel.
But he's like obsessed with like the Emperor and like Space Marines and stuff like that. Like he like collects like as much as he can about the Imperium.
He's like us.
Yes, kind of actually, yeah. But he has this conversation where he's like, you know, what if, you know, the Emperor is dead and like Horus comes?
Yeah.
Aren't you scared? And the guy's like, nah. Like if he comes, he comes.
Yeah, I really like the like mentality of this town because it is such like a Warhammer town. It makes so much sense. Where they're like, the Emperor's died. And like you as a reader is like, holy fuck, the Emperor's died, shit's going down. And like half the people in this town are like, so
Yeah, pretty much.
like it's not like I know the Emperor, he's not like a friend. He doesn't know who we are. He doesn't even know the name of this planet probably, which we know the Emperor probably does know the name of the planet. Because he's the fucking emperor. And,
yeah,
but
they're so far away that like they aren't protected by him.
This is Warhammer in a nutshell. Like this is another reason I love this story. Again, like there were some holes in it, but it's Warhammer in a nutshell. There are rights and wrongs to the entire conversation. Yes, you are a world out there that the Imperium probably doesn't give too much of a shit about. Right?
Right.
But the Emperor is kind of a god. And he does know about you. And as the God Emperor, we know that he does, in a sense, protect. Yeah. Even those people on the agri worlds. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like a big hit and miss. And at the same time, being an agri world, like you do have strategic value. Yeah. So like there's so many arguments on both sides, but I love the fact, like I love this idea that it's like the galaxy's so big. So huge. Big that like there's a planet that, like the Emperor could die and it's probably not that big of a deal to us. Like when we were reading the first Heretic and the word bearers went closer into the Eye of Terror. Mm-hmm. And then we realized that like there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of human planets in there. I'm like, holy fuck. There are probably planets in there that don't even know any of this shit is going on.
No, definitely not.
Any of it. Like
they have
from
their own
30K
problems.
to 40K, they're dealing with flooding issues right now.
Yeah, from all that Slaaneshi love.
Yeah, or like it's nuts, and you have planets on the fringe. Like who knows? Like maybe every single planet is fucked. Maybe.
Probably. I mean, look at ours.
But maybe there's one out there that everyone's living in bliss. No one's worrying about the fucking Drakari or humanity or chaos or Tyranids or orcs or any of that shit, and they're just drinking beer, making podcasts. Who knows? Love that concept though. Cool story. Was definitely one of my favorites of the ones I've read so far.
Yep, my third favorite.
Forgotten Sons. This, I haven't gotten to your favorite yet. I'm almost done with the book. But Forgotten Sons so far is my favorite.
Forgotten Sons is pretty good.
How should we discuss this one?
So we talked about last time how it's about a 1,000 sun.
And it's a group.
Yeah. And they are not 1,000 sun, fucking
salamander.
Yeah, a salamander and an ultramarine. Mm-hmm. They go to this little planet, and they're basically trying to make a bid for why this planet should be on the side of the Imperium instead of Horus's side.
Yeah. Super weird. So
yeah, it's an interesting concept, though. I mean, if you think about it, like, if I'm a planet, I'm like, well, what do you got for me?
One thing that I find interesting is, like, before all this would never be an option.
No.
Before the heresy, like, if the Emperor was like, hey, do we go and, like, try and debate our side against these heretics? They'd be like, oh, you want to consider being a heretic?
We will
blow you up. Yeah, exactly. But no, like you get this sense, you really do, and it's like this is like a turning point in my mind that like the Imperium is begging this planet to stay.
It's kind of what they need, right? I mean, they are probably losing a fuck ton of planets to Horus, and it's because they're so far away from Terra that like those planets are like, well, we either die or we just join Horus.
Yeah, I mean, think about it like this, right? Like Horus he's a genius. You think about the legions. He's eliminated the Salamanders. He's eliminated the Raven Guard. He sent one legion, the Night Lords, to completely just fuck with the first. Like, they aren't doing anything. The first legion's out of it, so that's the Dark Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Then you send half your legions after Ultramar, and they can't fucking do anything. Ultramar's just getting destroyed, which is great. You still have like 4 legions. You can do whatever you want.
Prospero got fucked up, and at that point, he knows Magnus is cornered.
You eliminate the Thousand Suns, but at the same time, you completely like make the Space Wolves insanely busy, and he knows already that the Imperial Fists are back in Terra doing their own shit.
Yeah, they have to deal with fucking Mars too. That's fucking Horses have gotten too.
There's no legions that are opposing him other than, and I don't know what this legion is doing right now, but the Scars. Like that's literally the only legion out there like able to do stuff. Like if you really think about it, there's no other loyalist legion that just has like free reign to fucking do anything.
Blood Angels right now. We haven't heard anything about them.
Angels, that's true. My bad. The Blood Angels and the Scars.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I mean, you have the Iron Warriors, but like, who knows what they're doing after the death of Ferrus Manus?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty, from my understanding, like they get like pretty like fucked up from like his death, like go crazy.
Yeah, so like,
except for like I think like they're like the first captain or whatever. Apparently he's a badass, but I don't even remember him.
So I'm pretty sure too. Horus sent the Scars like really far away. Right before all this happened. So it's taking the White Scars with the Warp Storms a really, really long time to even get back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like literally if you think about it, the Blood Angels are the only fucking legion out there. Like, what do we do?
I'm pretty sure the next James Solo book might be a Blood Angels book.
Oh, that's exciting, because I want to see like, what the fuck the Blood Angels are doing to combat 4 legions at the same time. So this story follows what's his name? Hecatan?
Yes.
And a character named Arcades. Yeah. Hecatan and Arcades. Hecatan is the Salamander and Arcades is the Ultramarine. And both of these characters have tragic backstories. So Hecatan witnessed the death of Vulcan and survived as Fam 5. It never really tells you how.
He got like dragged out
on a Stormbird.
Comrades, yeah.
Which is impressive. Like how they were able to get out of there.
Well, I mean, it's a whole planet. Surely there's, Yeah, they had the whole planet surrounded. Well, I mean, I guess they did by ships, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have been rough to get out of there, so very few did, but yeah, it's possible. And then you have Arcades, his tragic backstory. He actually like went into a coma after Olenor and didn't wake up until after Calth.
That's a fucking wake-up call.
Yeah, so he was like, everything was great, and then everything was on fire from like one moment to the next. So he also has a lot of his body augmented with a bunch of shit, so he's not like a really great warrior.
Yeah, that was what, like 50 years, I think?
Yeah, he was out for a while.
Could you imagine you're asleep for 50 years and you wake up and you're like, what the fuck?
I think it was more like 13. Because Horus was only War Master for about 10 years before he turned, and Calth happened like a few years
I was thinking Thousand Suns, whatever. It was like 50 years later than Council of Nike happened or whatever, something like that.
Yes, yeah, that's it. So, that was kind of these two are there, and they feel kind of like their roles in the Imperium right now are as like diplomats.
Yeah.
Like
neither. I mean, I guess the Salamanders is the closest because like their belief in protecting the people. Mm-hmm. But this Ultramarine's not. He's just like, why the fuck are we here?
Mm-hmm. You see a lot of that in the Salamander in this short story. The Salamander is very much so like, if you're a human, I'm protecting you. In the very beginning, their Stormbird on the way to the planet gets shot down, and he protects this girl who's there.
Yeah, she's like a servitor.
Yeah.
She used to be a remembrancer.
Yeah, so she's not a servitor because that means you're all fucked up.
Oh, really?
But yeah, because
I thought it was
servitors
just
are
like a slave type of person.
no, they're like brains taken from people and put into
Shit.
like machines. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, so she's not a servitor. She's like a.
She was almost like a handmaid to.
She puts
the
on his
Space
armor.
Marines, yeah.
Shit like that. Yeah. So he like saves her, and they make their way to the city, and they're making their plea. The person from Horus is making his plea, and he's winning because he's an iterator compared to the Space Marines. And basically, this guy's just trying to goad the Ultramarine into like fighting him because he knows that if the Ultramarine breaks the treaty pact that they have at this meeting, then that would kind of force the hand of this planet to side with Horus.
Mm-hmm.
During that time, they had to remove all their weapons to go into this chamber, and the Ultramarine requests of this remembrancer to go and retrieve his weapons.
Yep, and that poor girl.
Yeah, I know. I thought she was going to be like kind of important in the story.
Yeah,
she is, but like not longevity wise.
Yeah, so she's on her way, and she's like has to go through like this back way because like the main door is locked. And as she's going, she runs into a Space Marine who is not a loyalist. He is a shit. What are they called?
Iron Warrior.
Yeah, an Iron Warrior, and he's like fucking around down in like it's like the catacombs that like I'm imagining like the center of the planet, and there's like volcano like shit like lava coming down. That's like how I imagine like the whole scene.
Yeah, like Mustafar from Star Wars or something.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So she finds like scene because she was like, I know I shouldn't make any noise, and then like sweat gets in her eyes. She makes noise.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
I've had sweat in my eyes so many times, and I've never been like like that's what she does. So this
so
fucking
salty.
Yeah, this Iron Warrior is like, oh, what a dumb bitch, then kills her like right there, like no shit. But basically, the reason that drives the story is that prompts the Salamander then to be like, she's been gone too long. I need to go protect her.
Yeah, he
like,
goes, hey, cover for me. You got this. I'm gonna go find the remembrancer. And the Ultraman's like, excuse me, I need your story. And he's like, you got it.
The Ultramarine who doesn't want to be there is not an iterator. Is not someone to be doing the diplomatic thing. Literally is having like daydreams. He's having daydreams about killing this man. As this man is like completely like killing the whole.
Yeah, he's obliterating him.
Yeah.
He's like with the words, and it's like it's embarrassing.
Salamander's like, yo, I gotta head out. And he's like, dude, what the fuck?
It's like, I really need you. Like, I need your story of S15. He's like, she's been gone for a while, dude. I should go find her.
Ultraman's like, God damn, I can't believe I'm dealing with this fucking shit. What am I supposed to do? He's having a panic attack. Space Marine goes and finds the dead body, finds the Iron Warrior, kills the Iron Warrior, because fuck yeah.
Yeah, like shoves him down and it's like the fucking lava. And like, yeah, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Iron within, iron without, baby.
Makes his way back up. Tells the Ultramarine this, and then that's when the assassin strikes. So there's an assassin, but the assassin is actually there from Horus to kill Horus's like iterator.
Yeah.
Orator. And I think the reason is because they want the planet to side with Horus. So if he sends an assassin to kill his diplomat, they're gonna think that it's the Imperium that sent the assassin.
Yeah, because he also like comes out of this cloak as a custodius. So it's like so it's really fucking like obviously these guys are the bad guys.
We get this reveal that the assassin's not human. It describes him as a Xenos vampire thing.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure it's a demon.
Yeah, I agree. At first I thought it was the like the shapeshifter thing from Nemesis, and I was like,
I think it's very similar. I think it's very similar because if you remember, it got like a taste of its blood and it was able to shapeshift. Yeah. So one of the things, so like they're chasing this assassin, not the custodes, sorry. The Ultramarine and the Salamander are chasing this assassin. It's like beating the shit out of them, and that's when they find out that it's a custodes, and they're like, "How the fuck is it a custodes?" And Salamander's like, "Nah, it ain't a custodes, because if it was really a custodes,
we'd be fucking dead."
And he's like, "Yeah, good point." So they find out that it's something else. One of the things they talk about, which is something that I want to talk about, is they're like, how did he turn into custodes? Because in order for him to turn into custodes, he had to have like tasted a custodes' blood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh.
I wonder if it's from. That? It's fun.
You know, I think they have to be like alive, or maybe they don't.
Never state. I mean, this is a fucking random demon. We don't know shit about its rules.
Yeah, I don't. That's true. I think that this actually. I think this has to do with the war in the throne room. Because the custodes, the custodes are like fighting their own like demon incursion on Terra right now.
Oh, interesting.
Because of Magnus's debauchery.
Well, fucking Magnus.
Yeah, he like, that's what happened.
Nothing wrong.
You remember when like the demon convinced him to go through?
Yeah.
And he opened up that portal for the demons to pour out into the throne room. So the custodes are dealing with that right now. And I think this is in reference to that, possibly, or it could be in reference to Isfan.
Yeah, I could see Erebus being like pulling out a bunch of pets, like eat.
Yeah, that makes sense. That could very well be the case. But yeah, we get that situation. The Salamander decides that he's going to like go off on the hunt while the Ultramarine defends the people in this like debate room, which was an entire ploy.
Yeah, and it was funny too because like the Ultramarine, like he's still like injured, like he's definitely like slower than like he used to be and everything else, and like they have like a public fight with the Salamander, like just fucking throws him on the ground.
Oh,
like, I am hunting. I am the hunter. You are too slow.
So I want to talk about this actually with the Salamanders because that's like not like weird for them. They're very like the book described them as very blunt. And basically on Nocturne they had a lot of competitions. So that's like the Salamander's way of just saying like, hey, like I'm better than you. That's why I'm going to go on the hunt. And it wasn't like to make him like his pride hurt.
Yeah.
Right? It was just like the concept. And then when the Ultramarine said, no, you're not, Simon was like, oh, well, let me show you through competition.
Let me whoop your ass real quick.
This actually goes back a little bit to how like Vulcan was discovered by the Emperor.
Yeah, I remember you telling me the story that didn't like him and the Emperor compete about like who could kill like the biggest monster or something.
Who could kill the biggest salamander, which is why he renamed the Legion Salamanders afterwards. And the Emperor killed the larger salamander and actually saved Vulcan's life in the process. So it's just like and Vulcan didn't feel like beat, if that makes sense. Like it's just like you're better. Like it's just like that's how it is in the salamander culture.
It's also just like being like a good sport.
But he also knows, Salamander knows that the other legions aren't like that.
Yeah.
So like when the Ultraman's like, I'll remember that Salamander. He's like, I know you will. I love that.
Fucking good, bring it.
So he like disappears in the darkness, and then he comes back, but it's not the Salamander, it's the demon. But the Ultramarine knows that. I love that line. The Salamander like pops up, and it's like, it's because I smell of fire and ash. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, because he was like, how did you know? He's like, your smell.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
So they kill the demon thing, but they've realized that the Iron Warriors who had been on the planet prior had planted like geothermal nuclear devices all over the place and were setting them to blow up. So they had to escape. And on the way, the Ultramarine made to the ship the salamander got lost. He went back for him, and the salamander was trying to save not just any human,
The piece of shit.
the orator that was there to help Horus.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those situations where I really hope we get more to this story.
Yeah.
Because the salamander dies. He's having like flashbacks of Isfahan as he's like trying to be saved by the Ultramarine. Eventually, it's like, you know what?
Save this person. You can't save us both. Type of deal.
Just save him. Like I'm ready.
It's like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. And the salamander like, I'm ready to rest. I'm ready to go with my brothers. Like I can't like outrun this like trauma, this PTSD. Yeah. Like he has crazy PTSD.
Yeah, it's like I need to be with my father again.
Yeah. Which is not very Space Marine-esque, I feel like. I mean, I get it, but like I feel
also,
like they'd
surprise, Vulcan's not dead.
Wait, are you telling me Vulcan lives?
I read that somewhere.
Interesting. So you kind of get that situation, and then they save that guy, and the Ultramarine makes the vow that the ending is kind of weird because he says like, whoever did this to you, I will vow that those responsible will be like killed. And in my mind, I'm like, is he talking about is he gonna just kill the orator?
No, I was imagining like he was just gonna kill like his goal was to wipe out the Iron Warriors.
Maybe. I'd like to see more of this story.
Yeah, I agree. It was interesting. It was good.
Yeah, I want to see like what happens to the orator. Does he go off to like help the Imperium? Who knows? I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I agree. We are right at an hour.
Yeah.
There's 5 stories left?
Yeah, I think we can cover them next time.
Yeah, because there's several short ones.
Next one's very short. There's only 2 more long ones in there.
Yeah, Last Remembrance are short. I'm pretty sure Little Horus is actually pretty short.
Mm-hmm.
Face of Treachery might also be short. I don't know. There's several short ones. My favorite one still left, which is The Iron Within. Such a fucking good one. I just fucking ripped my camera straight down. Sorry about that, guys.
Real quick before we go, I forgot to give credit to the author for that one. Forgotten Sons is by Nick Kyme. I don't think he's written anything for us yet, but he does do Salamander books.
Yeah, he does Vulcan Lives.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Vulcan Lives.
Oh, fuck. Did I ruin it? Well, guys, that is review part 1 of Age of Darkness. We got through... Did we only get through 3? Or did we get through 4?
I think we only got through 3, dude.
Shit. So we have 6 books left.
We'll do our best.
Yeah. Several of them are short, so it shouldn't be too long. As we talked about at the beginning of the episode, if you would like to reach us, let us know what you would like us, especially with the YouTube. If there's something that you would like us to do, let us know. You can reach us at theheresiolodge@gmail.com. You can tweet us at heresiolodge. Join our Discord, and please like and subscribe to our videos and us on YouTube. That's going to help us a lot, get us a little bit more exposure, and kind of, give us more time to do more shit.
For sure.
And we got a lot of fun stuff coming. Other than that, I think that's it. Gavin, anything else you want to mention?
Nope, nothing else.
All right, guys. Hope to see you again next week for part 2 and the last 6 books of this.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good one. There's some really great ones left, and we will see you then. Cheers, guys.